Some games just stand the test of time, whether it's a gripping story, groundbreaking gameplay, or unforgettable characters. These classics from the early 2000s still hit just as hard today as they did back then. They've shaped the gaming world, influenced countless titles, and hold a special place in our hearts. From epic space operas to mind-bending puzzles, today we're diving into the 10 classic old but gold games that every gamer should experience.
You there. Wait a minute. I need to talk to you about the raccoon serum. I've got an...
Set in the Star Wars universe, Knights of the Old Republic is a masterpiece of storytelling. Developed by BioWare, this RPG allows players to craft their own path, whether it be toward the light or the dark side of the Force. One of the most impressive aspects of the game is how it blends deep character development with tactical turn-based combat. The narrative twists are iconic, and the freedom to shape the fate of the galaxy makes it a timeless experience. Even over 2 decades later, KoToR still ranks as one of the greatest Star Wars games of all time, influencing everything from Mass Effect to modern RPGs. If you haven't played it yet, trust me, it's never too late to dive into the Old Republic.
After 5 years on the East Coast, it was time to go home.
There are very few games with an impact as big as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Set in a massive open world inspired by California and Nevada, this game revolutionized sandbox gameplay. You take on the role of Carl Johnson, returning to his hometown of Los Santos after his mother's murder, and you quickly get pulled into a world of gang warfare, corruption, and power struggles. What made San Andreas truly stand out was the sheer freedom it offered. From customizing your character to exploring a vast map with cars, planes, and bikes. It's no wonder this game became a pop culture phenomenon, and its influence on open world design is still felt today. Resident Evil 4 redefined the survival horror genre and set the gold standard for third-person shooters. Playing as Leon Kennedy, you're tasked with rescuing the president's daughter from a remote village in Europe. What follows is a relentless, intense journey through hordes of enemies, including the terrifying Los Ganados and other mutated monstrosities. The over-the-shoulder camera and refined shooting mechanics became a template for future games. With its intense action, memorable characters, and atmospheric settings, Resident Evil 4 is a perfect blend of horror and action that still holds up brilliantly today.
NYPD!
Whoa, easy, officer, easy. Just cleaning the place. Come on, officer, it's all legit. I work for the Squeaky Cleaning Company.
The Fall of Max Payne was a noir action game that took bullet time to the next level. The story followed Max's journey of revenge and redemption, told through a blend of graphic novel-style cutscenes and third-person shooting. The game's use of slow-motion gunfights made every battle feel cinematic, and its dark, tragic story kept players engaged from start to finish. Though short, Max Payne 2 packed a punch with its gritty atmosphere, intense action, and sharp writing. It remains a beloved classic for those who crave a stylish, story-driven shooter.
This one's yours, Payne. You're the only one who could solve it.
Bullet in the head.
The killer's looking for an answer, but he's looking for it in the wrong place. He should be looking for it in his own head.
Half-Life 2 is often hailed as one of the greatest FPS games ever made, and for good reasons. Building on the success of the original Half-Life, this sequel introduced the iconic gravity gun, which allowed players to manipulate objects in the environment for both combat and puzzles. The game's storytelling was immersive, using minimal cutscenes and letting the world itself tell the story. Half-Life 2 pushed the boundaries of what was possible in terms of physics, AI, and environmental storytelling. Even after all these years, few games can match its technical achievements and gripping narrative. It's a timeless masterpiece. Back in 2003, The Sands of Time redefined what action-adventure games could be. With its fluid, acrobatic platforming, time manipulation mechanics, and a richly woven narrative, it became an instant classic. Players control the prince, who can reverse time and perform gravity-defying feats, making the platforming and combat feel innovative and exhilarating. This title helped set the stage for modern action-adventure games, influencing series like Assassin's Creed. It remains beloved to this day for its tight gameplay and captivating story. If you're a fan of epic adventures, this one's a must-play. BioShock isn't a game. It's a philosophical exploration wrapped in a first-person shooter. Set in the underwater dystopia of Rapture, the game blends an eerie atmosphere with deep moral questions about free will, power, and society. Its combination of storytelling, immersive environments, and the ability to customize your abilities using plasmids made for a revolutionary experience. The twist in the narrative is one of the most memorable moments in gaming history. With its haunting visuals and philosophical underpinnings, BioShock stands as a shining example of how games can be art. And it's still just as captivating today as it was in 2007.
While safety is one of many enrichment center goals.
Portal took the gaming world by storm with its simple but genius mechanic, the portal gun. In this first-person puzzle platformer, you solve a series of increasingly complex puzzles using two linked portals. The game's minimalist design, dark humor, and the unforgettable AI antagonist GLaDOS made it a standout hit. With its witty dialogue and innovative gameplay, Portal became more than just a game. It became a cultural phenomenon, inspiring memes, jokes, and even philosophical discussions about the nature of free will and control. Short, sweet, and endlessly replayable, Portal remains one of the smartest games ever made.
I guess we both know that isn't going to happen. You chose this path. Now I have a surprise for you.
What do you make of all that talk of a traitor?
It wouldn't be the first time we've had leaky plumbing. Still, it's disquieting to say the least.
No One Lives Forever is a hidden gem from 2000 that brought style and humor to the first-person shooter genre. You play as Kate Archer, a witty and resourceful spy navigating a retro 1960s-inspired world filled with intrigue, espionage, and tons of quirky gadgets. Blending elements of spy movies with tongue-in-cheek humor, No One Lives Forever stood out for its clever writing, unique mission variety, and Kate's memorable one-liners. The game didn't just focus on action, but also encouraged stealth and creativity, allowing players to approach each mission with different strategies. Despite being overlooked by many, it remains a fan favorite for its charm, humor, and immersive storytelling that brings the spy genre to life in a way few games have since. If you're a fan of classic shooters with personality, this is one you won't want to miss.
Good work out there, Mr. Denton. Mr. Mandalay said you handled yourself nicely.
Released in 2000, Deus Ex was a pioneer of the cyberpunk genre and immersive sims. Set in a dystopian future, you play as J.C. Denton, an augmented agent caught in a web of conspiracy and intrigue. What made Deus Ex stand out was the freedom of choice it offered players. You could approach missions in a variety of ways, whether through stealth, hacking, combat, or diplomacy. This level of freedom, combined with a rich narrative that tackles themes like surveillance, technology, and power, made Deus Ex an instant classic. Its influence on the RPG and cyberpunk genres can't be overstated, and it remains a must-play for fans of immersive storytelling.
Uh-oh. Fascist.
Hello there. I haven't seen you in my shop before. Allow me to introduce myself.
These 10 classic games have stood the test of time, reminding us why they're still loved by millions of players today. From the expansive worlds to the unforgettable characters and groundbreaking mechanics, these titles shaped the very foundations of modern gaming. Whether you're revisiting these gems or discovering them for the first time, their impact is undeniable. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more gaming content from Nerds Games. Until next time, keep gaming and keep the classics alive.
What?